I and Senator Ben Bruce were responsible for Waziri Atiku Abubakar picking Peter Obi as his running mate.
In 2019,
we packaged Peter Obi. In this year, I would be with Peter Obi, packaging him, saying he was the next best thing after sliced bread. Why? I don't particularly like Peter Obi. The reason why I was doing that was because I was instructed by former President Jonathan that this is the man he wants. And I'm a loyal person. And because of my loyalty to former President Jonathan, don't forget, this is a man who wrote in his book that I am the most loyal person that was in his government. He came, he spent 10 days with me in California.
Sorry, Mr. Reno. Let's take it slow.
Step by step.
You said that former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan told you that it is Peter Obi he wants.
Waziri Atiku Abubakar called me and said I should headhunt a vice presidential candidate for him. Without telling Waziri Atiku Abubakar, as he dropped the phone, the next person I called was President Jonathan. And President Jonathan told me it is Peter Obi. I said, sir, if I just tell this man Peter Obi, wouldn't it be rude? Because he said headhunt. He says, okay, you know, Reno, you know how to do things. So what I did was I packaged everybody. I don't want to mention the names of some people, but one of the persons that I put is an international civil servant now. The other one is chairman of a bank. So there were 3 of them. All of them, except the international civil servants, were sending me their CV. This Peter Obi that you see was sending, Reno, have you gotten the CV? Check now, refresh. This Peter Obi, he cannot
build up to 2019
The
elections.
emails are there. If he denies it, I will disgrace him.
You told him to send you his CV.
No, he was sending me, I did not tell him, he was sending me CV unsolicited.
But this is somebody who was governor of Anambra State for 8 years.
And then went straight to Abeokuta to meet my boss, President Obasanjo, and told him, Mr. President, I have got the ticket. So he asked me, he said, okay, from where is your running mate going to come from? I said, of course, it's either southeast or southwest. He said, no, leave southwest. Because I was there for 8 years. Go to southeast. I said, okay, sir. Do you have anybody in mind? He said, yes. The first person he suggested was Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So I told him Ngozi was not a member of our party. I believe if I forward the name to the party, they will reject. I said, okay. He said, what about Soludo? I said, Soludo too was not a member of our party, so they will not accept. And I said, what about Peter Obi? I said, Peter Obi is a member of the party. He said, okay, take him. I said, okay, sir.
Yesterday, I did a video calling on Bola Tinubu to answer a simple question, just yes or no. Are you a drug lord? Because we've got documents showing that you were involved in a heroin cartel in Chicago between the years of 1991 and 1993. So it's a very, very simple question. We've got the documents showing that you forfeited almost $500,000 to the U.S. government, and I have a master's in law, and if you've read law, you know that when you forfeit, it's almost like a conviction, because what you're saying is that, look, yes, I'm guilty, but I don't want to go all the way to trial, take what you want and then leave me alone. And so we need to ask this question, Bola Tinubu, were you a heroin drug lord? Because we don't want a person who is connected to drugs being our president. If you were not contesting to be president of Nigeria, I wouldn't be doing this video. It's a very, very simple question. Some people reached out to me, I got threats, which I'm going to ignore, but well-meaning people reached out to me and said, look, leave this matter, it's in the past. Why should I leave this matter? How do you know it's in the past? Look at the kind of cartel behavior that Bola Tinubu has been exhibiting since 1999. Everybody who wants to be anything from governor to commissioner to other positions in Lagos have to come through him. That is a typical cartel behavior. Look what's happening right now with the National Union of Road Transport Workers. They have Bola Tinubu stickers on their Danfo buses and other public transport buses. They have to pay 20,000, they say, to buy the stickers, and then a renewal fee of 10,000 every month. Otherwise, what they call Agbero, or the National Union of Road Transport Workers, which are led by Bola Tinubu's thugs in Lagos, will just cause mayhem. So that's that cartel behavior. And then if he's done it in Lagos, he's going to take it to Asawak if he's elected. So we as a people should be asking these questions. He's not contesting to be president of the Tinubu household, he's contesting to be our president. So we want to know, Bola Tinubu, are you a heroin drug lord? Because we don't want a Pablo Escobar kind of president. We don't want Nigeria to be reduced to Colombia. We already have enough problems with insecurity. We don't want drug cartels now fighting over. We don't want anybody to make our president vulnerable. These are questions. Yes or no, Bola Tinubu, were you a drug lord? Just yes or no. Thank you for watching. Yes or no, are you a drug lord? That's all I want to know.
Chicago, myself. Nobody told me I went to Chicago myself. I went to the court where Bola Tinubu had this issue. I went to the Chicago State University. I went there, I saw the documents myself. Bola Tinubu is a known drug lord. I went there. Another person isn't telling me. You see the picture on the screen. I took that picture. If you move to the right, you're going to see me in that picture. Bola Tinubu is a known drug lord. He has this man who's meant to be the Minister of Labor and Productivity, or rather say on productivity, who went on TV to try to hoodwink Nigerians, telling them that the charge against Bola Tinubu was just for tax, that all he paid was tax, that he had nothing to do with drugs. That is a big lie. I have the document here. Nigerians can see it. I hope you can see it on the screen here. I have the document here. It actually says, and if you look at it, it says docket. A docket, and as I'm speaking, your viewers can go on Google and fact check me. A docket is used for a criminal pending. A criminal pending. So you don't use a docket for a civil matter. And then right on the very first paragraph on this docket, it says that this is a forfeiture action under section under 21 USC section 881. USC is the United States Criminal Code. I will state it again. USC is the United States Criminal Code. Now, if you're watching at home, you can go on Google and you can fact check me. The United States Criminal Code is Title 18 USC, United States Criminal Code. And I'm going to read what section 881 of the USC, the Criminal Code, says. Now, this is it. I'm reading it. Nigerians can see it here. This is what I'm reading. It says, the following shall be subject to forfeiture to the United States, and no property rights shall exist in them. All monies, negotiable instruments, securities, or other things of value furnished or intended to be furnished by any person in exchange for a controlled substance or listed chemical in violation of this subchapter. All proceeds traceable to such an exchange, and all monies, negotiable instruments, and securities used or intended to be used to facilitate any violation of this subchapter. The word used there is controlled substances. Now, for Nigerians who may not understand this, a controlled substance are what they call narcotics, hard drugs. In this case, it was white heroin. Bola Tinubu was involved in a white heroin cartel. We know, and he was the treasurer of that cartel. And then he put some monies into an account. He was working for Mobil. And as he was working for Mobil, his salary was $2,400. Yet he paid in a total of $1.4 million into several accounts. Now, he was asked to explain how he got those monies. He could not explain how he got those monies. So one of those accounts, the monies in there, $460,000, it was forfeited to the United States government. It was not taxed. Now, there is only one agency of the United States government that has been given the authority to take forfeited amount, and that is the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. If you look at the case of the U.S. state, the state versus Ishmael Zambalda, who was the leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel, the exact same language that was used in this docket is the exact same language that was used for that man, Ishmael Zambalda. And if you're watching me, you can Google it. That it says that you agree to forfeit $5 million to the United States. Word for word with what was used for Bola Tinubu. The only difference is the amount. Bola Tinubu forfeited $460,000. Ishmael Zambalda forfeited $5 million. But the source of the money came from the same place, drugs.
Yeah. I would prefer to have the best president, the best president of Nigerian origin. And if you ask me, if you're going to ask me, who do I think will make the best president, I would say, and it's going to upset a lot of people, but I would say Peter Obi. Peter Obi would be an absolutely fabulous president. If Peter Obi were president of Nigeria, Nigeria would be like Dubai in a matter of years. But now,